Hi guys, Mel the Train Tutor here again with a bit of a discussion about Mantic stuff and going beyond the dead zone. Now for you guys who aren't into Mantic, don't panic. Later in the week I've got an overview on Rust from Model Mates coming and I've got a pretty nifty storage solution for you. So it isn't Mantic all the time guys, there's some other stuff coming. But this one I want to specifically talk about Mantic's Dead Zone and Mantic's Battlezone scenery. Now when we look at it, and I've played around with a lot of this stuff now, okay, and this is the very basic sort of dead zone, okay, and part of the challenge for me with this Help for Heroes charity build that I'm doing is I want to take the scenery, this battle zone scenery, away from dead zone, the game. So to do that I've sort of had to re-look at it and sort of say, well, okay, what makes this scenery so associated with dead zone? So I mean there's a couple of points. Now first and foremost, it's the cubic nature of Dead Zone. Dead Zone works on 3-inch cubes. Yeah, so all the terrain is 3-inch cubes. So immediately when you put the Battlezone stuff together, which is designed in the same way, yeah, you have this cubic nature. So that's one of the things. The next thing is that it's all constructed of individual square panels. And this is, you know, the fluff behind this is they were cargo containers. Yeah, and then when they get to the planet, you know, because of cost and everything, they construct all their buildings out of the cargo containers that they shipped all the stuff to. Yeah, but in reality terms, with the model, what it actually means is we've got join lines, all with these panels between everyone, and not specifically with this one, but with other panels, where if you've got them in a long straight row, there's gaps between them, so they're easily identifiable as panels. And then the final thing that sort of really ties it into Dead Zone, that, you know, is the connectors. Now, if you look, you've got the connectors for the plastic connectors to go in, you've got holes, and these are present on every little bit. Yeah, 8 on every single panel, and it really screams Dead Zone. It's one of those things that your eye draws to, and this isn't an issue with the train, it's just a human nature thing. You know, we associate certain things with certain other things because of certain elements. Okay, and in Dead Zone, it's the cubic nature, it's the panels, it's the connector holes. You know, in cars, it's the sounds, it's the profile, you know, etc. So this isn't a problem with the train as such. I'm not saying there's an issue with the train. I'm just saying that because it came from Dead Zone and because it's got a very stylized nature, it's associated with Dead Zone. And what I wanted to do was go beyond the Dead Zone. So let me show you a few things that I've done to sort of deal with this. Right, straight off, the cubic nature of Dead Zone. It's all square cubes, 3-inch square cubes. Okay, so the first thing I did is I looked at using, you know, the triangle pieces. Yeah, to make a triangular piece. Okay, I'll talk about these white bits in a second. Yeah, so immediately, no longer cube, doesn't associate with Dead Zone. Okay, another couple of things that I've done, perhaps with this piece, you can see that it's sort of lopsided. I've got barriers here, I haven't got them there. I've used these, these panels to change the cubic nature of the build. And this is about as Dead Zone build as it gets, but it doesn't look Dead Zone because of the work I've done on it. Okay, another example is, where's it gone? Okay, I don't have it to hand right now. I don't know what I've done with it. Yeah, but so you're aware, these panels don't have to line up. Okay, they don't have to go square. They will actually shift half the panel and the connectors will still connect. So you can have a panel coming in there. And once again, that breaks up the cubic nature. Okay, have a look at this. Now this is a piece that will be embedded in a polystyrene mounting. Okay, and if you notice, yeah, obviously I've used the columns, that design in depth to break up the cubic nature at the front. Yeah, I've also used the 45-degree connectors, okay guys, from the landing pad to give it a 45-degree bend on it. I'm sorry, I'm sort of looking at what I can see in the camera. I'm looking at that, I'm looking at this. Just listen, don't look at my eyes, guys. Yeah, but once it's embedded in the mountain, this won't look like Dead Zone terrain. Yeah, so there's a few ways to get away from the cubic nature. Now the other issue was they're all panels. Okay, so what can we do about that? Well, in this case, what I've done is, if you look, yeah, I've included a little bit of plastic rod, and this is all it is. Yeah, a little bit of styrene rod, plastic rod. Yeah, and just drop pieces where the gaps would go. And that gives it a solid feeling. I mean, if you look at that, it doesn't look like panels now. Same with this strip. I just got a sheet of plastic card, thin plastic card, cut it in 4mm strips, okay, and then just glued them over where the join lines were. Yeah, and straight away it takes away all that the look of the panel. Now the other issue, of course, is the connector holes. So take a look at this. Okay, don't worry about how they look right now. They're work in progress, guys. Okay, trust me, they'll be brilliant when they're done. But just let me explain something. Now, if you look at the top of that, okay, even though I've hidden the connecting lines, the connector holes are still there. You can clearly see them, and it still drags you to dead zone. Yeah, but by putting little cuts of that plastic card strip over the connectors, and they fit perfectly. Yeah, it's made it solid. It's completely changed it and taken it away from dead zone. Okay, and these are the barricades that come with the landing pad. And all I've done is I've turned them upside down, hot glued some some venting on the inside, and these are going to be air vents. But you can see straight away how adding those little those little flashes, those little bits of plastic card really changed the design of the build. Okay, so a couple more examples of that. Yeah, is what I've done on here. Yeah, I've done exactly the same on here. Yeah, and it's made it into a solid build. It doesn't look like panels. It doesn't look dead zoney. Yeah, you see, it's the eye. I haven't done it, and that reminds you of dead zone. That doesn't. How cool is that? Right, one final piece just to show you off, like the final sort of thing that you can do to sort of really take this stuff away from from dead zone. Now, dead zone is played on a mat. We play most of our tabletop games on a table, so just base the pieces. Yeah. And as you can see, this was a trial attempt. I actually used chucks on this to fill in these gaps, and before I used the plastic card, which paid in the backside, which is why I decided to use plastic card. But all the lines are covered. The shape isn't cubic. Okay, there's no connector gaps there, and then straight away what you look at is quite a nice bit of terrain. Okay, and this is one of the line of sight blocking pieces. But that's basically it, guys. These are the sort of things that I'm doing on this charity build to sort of take it away from dead zone, to take this Battlezones kit away from the dead zone game, and so it's more of a generic terrain set for any game whatsoever in 40k and 50, all those sort of things. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff could quite easily fit into modern as well. You know, they are quite modern looking. So that's where I am. Remember, guys, yeah, you can win this entire terrain set, and there's a hell of a lot more of it than just this. Okay, if you're interested, you need to go to justgiving.com/H4H-Battlezones. Yeah, make a donation to Help for Heroes, a charity which supports injured servicemen in the UK. For every £1 you donate, you'll automatically get one raffle ticket, virtual raffle ticket, and you'll be entered into the raffle. Important things, guys, make damn sure that you click to share your contact details with me. If you don't, I've got no way of contacting you and no way of putting you in the raffle. Okay, so you need to be aware of that. Make sure you share your contact details with me after you've made your donation. There's a little tick box, ticket. In the meantime, guys, I've got tons to do. Other stuff coming up really soon as well that I'm sure you'll like. But in the meantime, I'm going to get cracked on. So have a cracking day, guys. All the best. Ta-ra.